Hi folks, this is Chris at Art Secret Studio. We were in our class and we were breaking down certain concepts and questions were coming up, and I thought we need to film this. So this is an intro on how the word halftone, notan, and quality light are one and the same yet different and not. I hope that was clear, but that's the reason for the videos. So I broke this down into 3 parts, 3 different definitions of the word halftone. Hope you like it. I hope most importantly you can use this in your art. This is a drawing concept that will change your painting forever. And we believe the secret is understanding so many of these concepts through drawing to affect your painting today. Look for more of these videos in the future. This is part 1, halftone. Thank you, Leonardo. The word halftone and notan are the same word, and they're not. There, said it, and we clarified. So the art world uses the word notan and halftone interchangeably. And I agree with them, and I don't. And I do. And I don't. So let's go over it together, because I think this morning we pieced it all together and we gave it a definition. Because it's something I just felt, and that wasn't helping people in the class. Let's start with the definition. The white is on the sun, it wipes out the color, and then the shadow is so dark it wipes out the color. The true color is in the middle between the highlight and the shadow, and it doesn't have to be the exact middle. And we call that area the halftone, and it's the true color and true value of the object. It's the area between the sun and the shadow. You all know that. You've been through the exercises, you get it, okay? In part 1, we talked briefly about there's 3 different types of halftone. There's the true object, there's the overall psychological effect within a plane, and the big masses of area. So it's quite confusing. So we made 3 videos. This is number 2. And we can thank John S. Sargent for this definition, because he said there's a true halftone on each plane. Then what happens is, Sargent said there's another definition for halftone 200 years later, 300 years later, and he says whatever one value takes up the most space, even though this is values 1 to 4, don't divide them equally. Like 12 here on the end takes up very little space, and 8, 9, and 10 take up most of the real estate. But here, 12 and 11 take up most of the space. So whatever value takes up the most space, that's the true halftone. And the greater the difference between the light and the dark, the more psychologically it changes the painting. This is our 3rd and final part on the very confusing term halftone, which is also called notan, quality of light, and all 3 and none all at the same time. So we made 3 videos in class, thought we should share it because we think you can use this in your art today, whether you sign up for our classes or not online. This is important. This is the key to your art. And I use all 3 of these techniques in any given painting at any time. So when I'm doing a drawing and we say this horse, and I'm looking at the horse and I need to do a small drawing. I don't need a big drawing. Okay. I'm looking at the horse and I'm saying, here's the horse. And I decide the one value for these dark areas. That's the overall one value for an area. The art world calls that a halftone. Well, wait a minute, you said the halftone was the area between the highlight and the sun. Yeah, Leonardo said that. The artists today are saying the one value for each area is a halftone. So the word halftone has 3 definitions as of today. And yet they also are related to the word notan. So when you're reading a book or listening to someone speak, you have to know what they're saying. So I'm going to go in here and make this my halftone. And that's my halftone there. Okay? And now how dark I make everything and how light, that difference between light and dark decides the coolness of the day, the strength of the day, but I'm looking for large masses of an area that carry a message, that tell my story. The halftone for this picture, where do you think it is? Okay, so do we all agree there's a quietness to the picture? The difference between the highlight on the right side of her mouth and her cheek is your halftone. So it's like the tree, the surrounding area around the horse, the lightness of the horse and the darkness of the tree showed you a certain amount of pop that said what emotion you're going to see or feel. How light he makes the highlight and how dark he makes the area next to it has the ability to change the message in this painting. That's one way he's controlling this softness. He says, how much difference can I have, or it doesn't have a softness anymore. What was so unique at Sargent's painting, and what I'm doing this week, we went as a class to Boston and we saw, I talked about 3 or 4 paintings. My least favorite painting was one of the first ones in the show, the lady with the piano. But it was also in awe of it. Because the gold on the wall and the amount of shine it had of the light gold and the light cream, and the difference in value was giving it the class and elegance. If he goes too dark, it's too strong. Too light, doesn't stand out enough. It was beautiful. I mean, it was like beautiful. So that's what's going on with this picture. So let's go over this for a second. The highlight on the tooth right here, see it? Okay, that's a halftone, that's a realism highlight. That's the highlight that says, that's what enameled teeth look like with sun on it. So if I say there's 3 reasons you bring attention to an area: likeness, location, and mood. Did I say that correctly? Just checking, okay? Then that's a likeness highlight. And the highlight on the lip, that's what a highlight looks like on a lip. That's finding the highlight on the lip for likeness. But this highlight, notice darker farther away, not as light. This, I think, carries his message. I think it's his starting point. When I painted the little boy 20 years ago, I started with the eyes. The painting next to it, I started with the highlight on her cheek next to the shadow. I pick a spot that I think pulsates the message, and that's where I start. I have to teach you how to start a painting different ways. So as soon as you get good at one way, well, we'll be over that. We won't have to go back to that. And we'll do another one, and you'll be starting all over again, thinking, oh, this is fun. And it won't be fun doing the next one because you don't know how to do it either, and you'll have to learn. So when I look at this painting, wow, talk about soft edges though, right? Yeah, everything is soft and softer. So when you have a sharp line, that makes the soft look softer. So let me get out of here. And in this part of the painting, the halftone is the white face against the dark background. It's possible that this contrast and the eye highlight is making this look so soft. And if that highlight's too light or the area around it's too dark, it could make it like she's about to say something very loud and not be soft. So your surrounding areas, your figure background relationships are the problem. And they're the answer.